You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Moon in Sagittarius, Venus and Neptune, Sun and Saturn. Hope, love, and resolve. Daily Horoscope for Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Okay, let's get into the astrology. The moon today will be in the sign of Sagittarius until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, when she makes her ingress into Capricorn. But we actually start our day with something other than the moon. Venus conjoins Neptune exactly this morning at 7:25 a.m. Eastern Time. Venus and Neptune coming together in Pisces may mark a time when love, relationships, money, and what we find beautiful dissolve into the big blue ocean of Neptune. This may feel like a much-needed spiritual escape from the exhausting harshness of our realities, or it could feel disorienting, confusing, and foggy. It could represent an amazing artistic or spiritual experience, like listening to music or watching a ballet performance that moves you to tears of joy and leaves a lasting impression. Or it could represent disillusionment, illness, or a drain of energy. Venus brings sweetness and nurturance, and Neptune dissolves boundaries and enlightens. Whatever this means for you personally will depend upon your own life and natal chart, of course. In the afternoon, the moon in Sagittarius will square Neptune and then Venus, representing a challenge, struggle, or time of action where people could be moody, lazy, or self-indulgent. It's like the sugar crash after eating too many sweets. At about 6:42 p.m. Eastern Time, the Sun hits 27 degrees and begins his partile conjunction to Saturn in Aquarius. This conjunction will go exact tomorrow at 11:48 a.m. Eastern Time, but we have been feeling it already, and it will last to the end of the week. Sun conjunct Saturn can manifest as serious ambition, determination, and devotion to duty. It can be a time when you feel a sense of accomplishment about something really important in your life that you've been patiently plugging away at. It could also represent some really intense, heavy experiences, such as the death of a solar figure, like a father or a leader. This transit reminds me of the Ten of Swords in the Tarot, which at first glance seems really scary and harsh, but there is actually a hopeful message symbolized by the dawn of a new day on the horizon. The Ten of Swords represents the end. Whatever you have been doing or experiencing is over, done, dead. But it also means that the next step is to begin something new and be reborn in a spiritual sense. It also reminds me of the Ten of Wands as well, carrying a heavy burden. When the conjunction happens, there's a realization about the intense pressure and responsibility you've been feeling about something, and you finally see that you have to make a change. The Ten of Wands is all about delegating or asking for help carrying the heavy spiritual burden that you've been trying to hold up all by yourself. After this intense transit begins, the moon in Sagittarius forms a sextile to the Sun and Saturn in Aquarius between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I feel that this really represents an epiphany moment, or like a light being turned on, and we feel more at peace, more emotionally stable, and positive about our direction or the decision we've made or have to make. The moon then ingresses into the sign of Capricorn at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, and this means it's time to go to work. It's time to consolidate our energy and pay attention to the foundations we are building and maintaining. It's always so interesting to me, the moon's journey through the sign of her fall, Scorpio, then Sagittarius, and then into the sign of her detriment, Capricorn, the journey that the moon has made over the last week or so. In Scorpio, the moon gets really in touch with her emotions and visits the underworld of her soul and psyche. Then in Sagittarius, she is able to come up for air and sees the big picture, receives the honest truth, and realizes what she must do from a place of inner wisdom. And then she's ready to do the work without complaint in Capricorn. It feels like the emotional roller coaster after a bad breakup. First, you're crying into your pillow for days. You can't eat, sleep, or watch anything even remotely romantic. Then you may go out with your friends who are trying to cheer you up, and you drink too much and party too much, and then suffer a great big hangover. Eventually, you step back from the pain just enough that you can see the bigger picture and know it's for the best. Then you're ready to pick up the pieces of your broken heart and move on with your life. You're not yet healed, but you're numb enough that you can at least do what you need to survive. You can eat, sleep, go to work, and clean your house again. You're not happy and vibrant yet, but you will be. So the moon in Capricorn is about doing what you have to do to get by. It's an ambitious and businesslike moon that's been through a lot. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Page of Cups, reversed. On this card, we see a young man wearing a blue and red tunic with flowers on it. He has a big plume coming out of his hat and a blue scarf that cascades down and around him. He is standing on a beach in front of the ocean. The sea behind him is slightly undulating and wavy. He is holding a cup with a fish popping out of the top in one hand, his other hand resting matter-of-factly on his hip. The Page of Cups represents someone who is very creative, intuitive, emotional, young, and fresh in mind and heart. And the fish coming out of the cup represents how creativity, intuition, and our emotions often come to us out of the blue. In the upright position, the Page of Cups is all about new and creative opportunities, intuitive messages, and emotions that may pop out of nowhere, and you get to decide what to do with them. This card suggests following your intuition and going with the flow to see where it takes you. In the reverse position, the Page of Cups could mean that you are having new and creative ideas, but you are hesitant to share them with the world just yet, because they are still in their baby phase and aren't fleshed out. Fear of failure and ridicule may be behind the motivation to keep them a secret right now. Or you may be excited and curious about a new idea or project, but you have some doubts. These doubts could come from your own negative voice, or maybe a negative Nancy in your circle of support is doubting your ability to make this creative project work. This card coming up reversed is asking you to look within and see what is driving the hesitation. Is it fear of failure or something else? Is it worth the risk even if it may fail? What's the worst that could happen? Or are you experiencing a creative block and the energy is just not flowing the way you'd like? Explore your feelings about this idea or project and try to understand and evaluate them to figure out the best course of action. Since the pages are the messengers of the tarot, the Page of Cups reversed could mean that you are receiving intuitive guidance, but you are doubting what you are hearing. So it is an opportunity to take some time exploring your intuition and let go of self-doubt. It could also mean that an unpleasant message comes out of the blue that maybe you don't feel mature enough to handle. The pages can sometimes represent someone young and inexperienced, emotionally immature, and who often throws temper tantrums when they don't get their way. So this card could be representing someone else in your environment that you have to deal with right now. Either way, this card indicates it's time to listen to your intuition and stay open and curious in mind and heart. The messages received today could throw you for a spin. Find your eternal center and hang on. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's cards were pulled from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, available on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things that I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks for listening.